What's going on, y'all? It's your boy Chin here again today from Nothing But Facts. We have some crazy transfer portal news. Before that, got the throwback Oregon jersey on with the Marcus Mariota with the Pac-12 patch. So you know this is a real OG jersey. I've had this for some time, so I was like, man, let me just throw it on. But man, we have a lot of moving pieces today in the portal. I talked about some of the potential pieces yesterday, but today we have seen definitely some movement in the portal. Let's jump right in. Let's see there was a crazy story that broke this evening regarding a very, very prominent quarterback, and that happens to be Washington quarterback Damon Williams. This guy was major production guy for Washington, was a starter for Jed Fish, and he entered the portal after signing a deal. He re-signed with Washington just 4 days ago. So there's been a lot of talk regarding this, and Pete Thamel, who is one of the college football insiders, he said that Damon Williams signed a deal to return to Washington last week. It will be interesting to see how this unfolds with the deal at Washington in place. Sources close to ESPN believe the deal was signed, and they believe, if he signed, it would be near the top of the market. I also saw some things about potentially him having a do not contact tag, and that being to LSU. I mean, there's a lot of different ways this can go, but still very, very surprised that he was going to leave Washington because, Washington, the season that they had this year, winning 9 games, blowing the doors off of Boise State at the end of the year. I thought with him coming back and all the talk we heard about Jed Fish potentially leaving to go to Michigan, we heard him in the Penn State job. We heard him he still resigned and stayed at Washington, and everyone thought that him and Damon Williams was a package deal. That's not what's going on. It seems like he's going to, if they don't resign him, he's going to look to play football somewhere else in 2026. Again, one of the most productive football players in the country this year, 25 touchdowns through the air, 6 touchdowns on the ground, 31 touchdowns in total. This guy's extremely productive player. Hopefully Washington can sign him back. DJ Lagway, we talked about him yesterday. DJ Lagway, the conversation is that has a visit coming up soon with Baylor. I believe it's tomorrow. He has a visit with Baylor tomorrow. And again, this is a guy, young, very raw, still has a lot of potential in that gas tank, but still, it all decides on what he wants to do with it. What type of football player does DJ Lagway want to be? Because if you see what John Summerall said today about DJ Lagway, I don't know how we can say it, but it was a very, very interesting piece. Then trying to see if we can find it. Yeah. Look at it. Look what my man John Summerall said right here. I'm for DJ, Summerall said. I've had players I've coached that left me. Darian Mensah was my quarterback at Tulane in 2024. I hope Darian Mensah has great success his entire career, unless I coached against him. Then I want him to lose. We did that last year. We played against Darian. You know what he did? He lost. So for everyone I've been around, I'm not against guys. I hope DJ ends up in a great situation, blah, 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 blah. So you can tell that it doesn't seem to me, and I could be wrong, that his attention is not 100% on football. It seems like he's looking for the biggest bag. Nothing wrong with that. It's nothing wrong with chasing the bag, but I think it gets to a point where, we have to really look at the production that he had. Okay. I believe he led the SEC in interceptions this year. He had 14. And coming off of the hype of the freshman, couple of games he had, he still threw a lot of interceptions, 9 interceptions. That's still high. So in his 2 years at Florida, he had 28 touchdowns and 23 interceptions. And you're asking for top dollar on this transfer portal market. I just don't see it. I don't see it. But again, this guy Hello, hello. Don't know where it stopped, but I'll just talk about Aiden Childs again. If it cut out, Aiden Childs leaving Michigan State, now going to Northwestern. He's going to have an opportunity now to be coached by one of the best offensive minds in the game. That's Chip Kelly. And now, like I said before, this guy has not really been a high production player. His career high in passing touchdowns was 13, and he followed that up with 11 interceptions. So now you're going from a place at Michigan State where he followed Jonathan Smith, his former head coach, and it didn't work out. And now you're going to a place in Northwestern who has been successful. Northwestern has won 5 straight bowl games. Preston Stone helped them win their bowl game this year. And you're going to a place, like I said, in Chip Kelly, who is going to help you develop into the quarterback that I think he can be. The measurables are there. The size is there. The prototypical size, all that stuff, all that thing is there for Aiden Childs. It's now for him to put this together and show us something, because he has all the ability in the world. Might not be a great sample size or great in what you want to see, but definitely a quarterback that I think will produce given the right environment. What's going on here with 247? Okay. Ethan Grunkemeyer, Penn State quarterback, left Penn State. I think this guy is going to succeed. I like what I saw from Ethan. I know it wasn't a much of a sample size. Well, it was a pretty large sample size, but I like what I saw from Ethan Grunkemeyer this year. 9 touchdowns, helping Penn State get to a bowl game after their season looked like it was over. This guy, I think he's going to do good at Virginia Tech. I think you give him a year, hopefully they find ways to fix that offense and fix some of the things that potentially he could be lacking. Yeah, I like Ethan Grunkemeyer. I like that. I like him going to Virginia Tech and reuniting with James Franklin. I think that's a major get for them, because you have a guy who's familiar with the head coach. He's familiar with some of the assistants, right? Brent Pry. He's coming back as the defensive coordinator at Virginia Tech. So there is some sort of I'm trying to say, there is some sort of familiarity with these folks. So pretty cool to see that. Caden Hauser, big get for Brett Bielema in Illinois. They had formerly, I think, let's just talk about what Brett Bielema has done at Illinois. He's been very, very successful. I think the job he's done, given what he's had, I don't know Illinois' NIL package and all those things, but man, Brett Bielema has been very, very successful at Illinois and won a bowl game this year. He won a bowl game last year against South Carolina, and this guy just wins. He wins consistently, and he got a good quarterback in Caden Hauser. Caden Hauser was extremely productive at East Carolina. I mean, you see the numbers there: 19 touchdowns, six interceptions this year, but also on the ground. That dual threat ability that he has. I mean, he's going to give that dual threat ability, that second aspect, that Illinois. I think there's not so much of a drop off, from what they had this year to what Caden Hauser brings this year. So should be really interesting to see that fit in Illinois. I like that get for Brett Bielema. Let's talk about Raleek Brown. This was one that I was really interested in. Raleek Brown started his career at USC and productive at USC. And I think, this is a guy who is a change of pace sort of athlete for Texas, a guy who can run out of the backfield. We know Steve Sarkisian loves that orbit motion, that bubble motion, all those things. And Raleek Brown is a guy that you can give him the ball in space. You could definitely give him the ball in space. I mean, extremely productive, right? 1,100 yards, 4 rushing touchdowns, 34 catches, 239 yards, 2 touchdowns. That's sort of the back that Steve Sarkisian likes. He likes players like that, who are positionless in a way. I'd say positionless, right? That's what he likes. That's what he likes, and I think this is a great get for Texas. Hopefully, they could backfill, Quintravion Wisner. Hopefully, they can backfill him. I like Raleek Brown, really good football player, and again, a dynamic athlete that is added to that piece for Arch Manning. Caden Durham, one of my favorite running backs last year. Well, 2 years ago, I would say, when he was a freshman at LSU. So he was so productive as a freshman at LSU. And I don't know, maybe, I don't want to say I don't know what happened, but LSU's offensive line play this year wasn't the best, and that definitely hindered him. His freshman year, really good, 8 touchdowns, right? Like, pretty dynamic running back. And the production dropped off, and he was hurt this year, and I get it. And I think whoever gets him, they're getting a really good running back. Came out of Duncanville, played alongside DeCorian Moore. So who knows? Maybe Oregon picks him up. I don't know. But this guy, whatever team he goes on, hopefully he's healthier. He is going to be an impact player because that's exactly what he was at LSU. 11 touchdowns, just under 1,300 combined yards in 2 years. Somebody's going to get a really high-level football player in Caden Durham. I really like him. Whew. Cam Coleman. Let's talk about Cam Coleman. There has been some talk about him, number one player in the portal, number one wide receiver, whatever you want to say, however you want to say it. He's the number one player to a lot of people. And he has had some visits. He's had some visits recently. And the most recently of what we're hearing is that Cam Coleman is going to be in Lubbock tomorrow. That's what I'm hearing. That's what I've read, that he's going to have a visit with Texas Tech tomorrow. And it's funny to me because I look at it and I say, seems like he's waiting to have that Alabama visit last. Like, he wants that visit to come last because Eric Nix is there as the new wide receiver coach at Alabama. So I think I said yesterday, I think it was down to Texas and Alabama. I think Alabama is still very heavily involved here. I don't really know how much if he wants to go to Texas Tech, and it's nothing against Joey McGuire because they've been cooking in the portal today, but I think he wants to stay in the SEC. I think he likes the SEC. I think he wants to stay home in Alabama, but we'll see. I mean, let's not even talk about productivity. You see it right there. Dude, he's a problem. He's a problem. 5-star coming out of high school. So we'll see what happens with him. Darrell Gill Jr. was a very, very good player for Syracuse this year. Came out of Toscasita, just about 45 minutes north of me. And this dude was hurt. I mean, he was hurt. Sorry, he was not hurt. Sorry, I read it wrong. Very productive player. I don't know why I said he was hurt. I saw the redshirt stuff. Very productive player at Syracuse, despite some of the worst quarterback play in the country, given, yes, Steve Angeli was hurt. I understand that. But after Steve Angeli, that was some of the worst quarterback play I've ever seen in my life. And he somehow managed to have 32 receptions, 500 yards, and 5 touchdowns with that quarterback play. So I think this guy is going to be, if he gets the right quarterback, and again, I'm just saying stuff out of my top of my mind. I think this is a player that needs to go to somewhere like Kentucky, go play with Will Stein. Will Stein has been, in my opinion, he's been really good with transfer receivers. We saw what he did with Malik Benson this year at Oregon. I think Darrell Gill, this guy is a high productive player. I think the best football is ahead of him, just given, the quarterback play at Syracuse last year just wasn't the best. Isaiah Canyon, this dude is giving me Charlie Becker vibes. Big body, 6'4", 200 pounds, like crystal ball going to Georgia. Was hurt a little bit this year, but I'm telling you, y'all, I watched this dude play this year. He is a good player. He's a good player. You see the numbers: 32 receptions, 467 yards, 4 touchdowns. And you have to remember, Haynes King is a dual threat quarterback. I think Haynes King finished with over 1,000 yards rushing this year. So let's keep that in mind, that a lot of the times Haynes King had the ball in his hand. So for this production, for that type of offense, this dude is legit. I think Isaiah Cannon, I don't really like the pick going to Georgia. I just think he's a good football player. I really do think he's a good football player. Big body, too. I think he's a really good football player. Trey Richardson, also from Vanderbilt, explosive receiver. This guy was very fast, shifty. He's a slot sort of guy. One of Diego Pavia's favorite, weapons this year. You see the numbers here. You see the damage he did. 46 receptions, 800 yards on 46 receptions and 7 touchdowns. You see the numbers. I don't got to get into that. He's a problem. I want to get into the defensive line because, like I said again, I think Texas Tech has done a really good job of just rebuilding their defensive line. Before that, let's talk about some new guys coming into the portal. And today, Keon Keeley was a surprise name. Keon Keeley entered his name in the portal. Big edge player from Alabama, very productive too. The best football, I think, for him is ahead of him. And he came on late for Alabama this year when LT Overton was hurt. He came on big in that Oklahoma game for them in the playoffs. And it seems like he has a visit tomorrow to Notre Dame. So from everything that I've read, he has an official visit to Notre Dame tomorrow. And he was committed to Notre Dame out of high school. Keon Keeley was committed to Notre Dame out of high school. Big dude, 6'5", 280 pounds. Yeah, that's really good. That's really good. Texas Tech they're killing it. Texas Tech is killing it. I'm going to speak on Adam Trick because I watched MAC games this year, and they could not block this dude. They could not block him. They couldn't block him. They could not block Adam Trick this year. They don't have his stats here. Oh my, this dude was a problem. Like, they couldn't block him. They don't have his stats. Ridiculous. And for him to go to Texas Tech, y'all, I talked about him yesterday. Extremely productive player. And he's signing with Texas Tech. I saw it. It's confirmed. He signed today. Texas Tech is doing their due diligence into making sure this defensive line is really good. They also, I forgot to mention, that is just edge. They also got Mateen Ibirogba from Wake Forest. What's going on here? I don't know what just happened. Oh, sorry, guys. Don't know what's going on. Technical difficulties. But Mateen Ibirogba. That sounds like my Nigerian brother. Mateen, 6'3", 300 pounds. Like, man, this guy is legit. He's a big dude in the middle. And he is, to me, he is going to replace Lee Hunter. Like, he's going to replace Lee Hunter. This guy is going to replace Lee Hunter. If you have not seen Lee Hunter play football, go and watch Lee Hunter play football. The dude is a problem. The numbers aren't wowing you, but you see what he does on the football field. He commands doubles teams. He's eating up double teams. Like, he's a good player. He's a good player. The numbers don't wow you, but he is a good player. He's a good player. I don't know what is going on with this split screen, man. Okay, better. What is going on here? Excuse me for the technical difficulties, guys. All right, back to regular scheduled programming. Smith Snowden. This dude is a really good player for Utah. Watched Utah play this year. This dude is a Swiss Army knife. really good special teams player, was good in the return game, good on special teams, and he's going to hit you. Smith Snowden will hit you very, 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 very hard. Like, he's not scared of contact. He's not scared of none of that. Like, he's a really good player. I think wherever he goes, they're going to get a high-level football player. Smart, instinctive. Like I said, he can do a lot of things, special teams and on defense. He also played offense this year. So, yeah, I really like Smith Snowden. This dude he's a good football player. He knows, he gets it. He gets it. You go watch the highlights. You go watch Utah games. You see Smith Snowden running around making plays because he gets it. He's a good football player. He's a good football player. I want to talk about no, not tight end. Yes. I want to talk about the running back position. I want to talk about Dylan Edwards. Dylan Edwards, very interesting player. This dude started his career at Colorado, ended up going to, transferring to Kansas State to be closer to home, got hurt I guess it felt like the first game of the season, played in a couple games. And this dude was one of the first portal entries of this cycle. Very early he went into the portal, and I just don't know what we're getting from Dylan Edwards, right? Like, his career, his freshman year was unreal. His freshman year was unreal. 7 touchdowns, over 600 total yards. Like, he was the dude his freshman year. But I think for me, it's like, what are we getting now, right? The injury looked bad. Not going to say it looked bad, but kind of put him behind the 8 ball. But I want to know what he does. I want to know where he goes. And I don't want to say it's the group of 5, but who knows? Who knows? James Peoples was a very highly touted running back coming out of high school, Veterans Memorial High School in San Antonio, Texas. He went to Ohio State and just didn't work out. Sat behind C.J. Donaldson, sat behind Bo Jackson. Just ain't work out. And I thought he was going to come in and do something. This ain't work out. And he's now going to Penn State, going to be with Matt Campbell. And I think hopefully, again, I think guys like this who don't really, right, he didn't really do much this year. I think guys like this, their best football is ahead of him. Because he doesn't have that many mileage in the tires. He doesn't have that much mileage in the tires. I think he will have the best football ahead of him. Cam Cook, one of the best running backs in the country this year. One of the best running backs in college football this entire year. This dude was unreal on the football field. You see it there. Close to 1,700 yards and 16 touchdowns. You see it. He is going to help West Virginia out. Like, Rich Rod needed a running back like this. If you don't know Rich Rodriguez, he is a guy who needs diverse sort of running backs to run that offense, because you need a dual threat quarterback to run Rich Rod's system. You do, right? He did it at Michigan when he's at Michigan, when he was at Arizona. Every place Rich Rodriguez, even last year when he was at Jacksonville State, I think Gavin Wimsatt was their quarterback, or they had another quarterback. But Wimsatt was the backup. You need a dual threat quarterback and a dynamic running back in Rich Rod's system. And Cam Cook is going to help that quarterback out. Whoever it is, Nico Markell's in the portal, all those guys. I think Markell maybe ran out of eligibility. But this guy he's a good running back. He is good. Best, like, he led the Sun Belt in rushing yards. Like, dude is legit, man. Home run hitter, physical, could run through the tackles, can catch the football. Like, they asked him to do a lot this year at Jacksonville State, and the dude delivered. He had over 300 touches. The dude delivered. Really good football player. Really, really good football player. Wayne Knight, this guy, another really good football player. Like, man, he is good. Like, 5'7", 190 pounds. Like, I like this dude. Like, I was watching James Madison in the Sun Belt Championship, watched a couple games this year, watched him against Oregon. He's a good running back. Like, I think, maybe a group of 5 team or a low power 4 team, maybe. I don't know, but this Wayne Knight could play good football. He is a really good running back. He could play good football. I'll take him. I'll take him at Penn State. We'll take him. Like, Wayne Knight could play football, and he was very successful at James Madison. So I want to see him, get some good carries. I want to see him go somewhere and be great. So, yeah, that's where we are at with the portal. Been a crazy, crazy day. We'll see what happens. But as for now, that's where we're at. Keep liking, keep commenting, keep sharing. Love you guys. God bless. Peace.